Hey everybody, I had asked you guys to do questions about what did you want to know, and we got a lot of questions, but there's a lot of people who asked pretty much the same question, so I wrote down the ones that weren't the same. So one of the questions was, how did I become into reborns? Well, actually, it started because of my husband. He had saw something on TV at one point, and he thought that they were pretty cool, and we kind of looked into it, and we found Ashton Drake. Our first one we had um, was an Ashton Drake, so that's how pretty much I got into Reborns, and uh, I wanted to know more about them, so I started researching them and um, finding out what they were and how they were. And as I followed up, we ended up getting our actual reborn. So that's how pretty much I found out about them, was through my husband. Um, another question number two was, how many babies do I have? I have about 17. Um, most of them are babies. I have three toddlers and a monkey, and then I have like three, I guess you would consider alternative. One's a vampire, one's like the Tin Man, a lion, and the witch from the Wizard of Oz. So like they stay like that. I don't change them. I don't do anything with them. Um, do I plan to get more? I say no, but I am, because actually I'm gonna be getting, well, four more. Well, four, because one I'm getting one from a friend named my friend Donna. One from my friend Patty. My friend Crystal sent me one, and I'm getting one more from someone else. Don't know how to pronounce her name, so but I'm getting one from her. So about four more, and from that I might be done. Might, I don't know. Might. Um, am I a reborn artist? Was one of the questions. No, 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 no. I do not make them. Uh, I prefer to buy them made, or pay someone to make it for me, because it's a lot of work. I haven't tried. I do have a kit that someone sent me for my birthday to make. I have everything I need to make, but I still have it sitting in the box. I'm kind of scared to make it, because what if I mess up? So, but no, not an artist. Um, what's my favorite kit so far? I love the Ladybug kit. It's a toddler kit because he has little teeth and everything. As far as toddlers, as far as babies, um, I don't really have like a favorite baby kit, but as toddlers, I gotta say it's the Ladybug. The Ladybug is one of my all-time favorites. Another question was, how old were you when I got my first reborn? I was old, like not old, but I was old enough. I was what, 30? How old was I? Like 33, 30, about 33, 32, 30. Wait, 30, 33, 34, around there. Um, I never had dolls. I never had reborns until I was about 33 years old. So, um, what is a box opening? Well, to me, a box opening is basically when you pretty much get, whether it's be a box of clothes, a box with a baby with different stuff. When you uh, excuse me, when you reveal what's inside, like if you buy a reborn, and the artist puts in like little like clothes and diapers and little extra stuff like that, you're basically opening the box, showing what's in it. You're opening the box. You're doing a box opening because you open the box and pretty much show everybody what's inside your box. That's what it is to me, I guess. But yeah. Another question was, What do I do when I take my babies out? What do I do? I just pretty much get stuff together. Like if I'm taking them just to the store, we'll have their little bag. I always carry little extra clothes in my bag, my little backpack behind my chair. Because sometimes I'll just take off their sweater, their bot, stuff like that. It depends basically where I go with them. You know, like if I'm gonna go spend a night at my mom's house, I'll take a diaper bag with me, and I'll have little clothes so I could change them throughout the day or something. Or if I'm going taking them with me to my work, I don't really take a lot of stuff because I don't like lugging everything around. Um, because I'm at work, so I don't want to take a lot of stuff. I'll just take like a few another change of outfit, maybe a bottom and stuff like that extra. Because like when I'm on the train, I like print them on the train and stuff. But yeah, it really depends what I do and what I take. But I don't. I mean, I have a little diaper bag, but I don't always take it with me. So because it depends on where I go. So another question was, how often do I change my babies? Well, let's say about that. Since I have so many, I don't change them like all the time. It's mostly the ones like if I'm going to take them out that day, I'll take them out, I'll change them. Because like there's some that I don't even change because they just don't change. So I change the ones I always take out at least 2 times, maybe 3 days, 4 days, every 3 days or something. I start to change them. But like I said, it's only the ones I normally take out. So most of them I don't even change them. I'll change them once in a while, just to get them into new things, but not that often unless they're the ones that I take out. Another question was, what does my family think when I first got started? Well, let's put it this way. I have certain family members who love them, and I have some who hate them. They think they're disgusting, they think they're creepy, they think they're weird. Um, but like my family that I live with, like my husband and my kids, my husband loves them. He plays with them. Sometimes like I'll leave them here. I come back and he has them doing different things, and he'll put them with toys and stuff. So my husband loves them. My daughter at first was kind of like about them, but she got used to it, and she took one of mine. Now it's hers. But my son doesn't really have an opinion about them, but I do, like I said, I do have family members who are not supportive of them whatsoever. We had a big old thing about it, but like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they say, think, do, because they don't live with me. They're not paying for them. My husband does, so that's basically all that matters. So yeah, we have good family who doesn't really care. Doesn't matter. They have family members who actually send me stuff for them. Like if their kids outgrew their clothes, or they'll send me the stuff, or so it goes both ways on that coin. Um, does anyone else in my family have reborns? Well, at first I was like the only one that I knew of, but turned out that my aunt, um, she actually has reborns of herself, and I didn't know that because like we really never really talked, because we just never talked. And we recently found out. I recently found out that she collects them. She has started collecting them back way back when, and she collects a lot of them. But she does not only reborns, she does like porcelains as well. But yeah, so I that's pretty much my family, or my daughter has mine, but that's not really collective. She has my reborn, so I really don't mention to my family about who, if they know they have of them. Um, Another question was kind of interesting. It says, "What do what's the hardest part about reborning, and do you find it difficult to sell when you're done?" Well, like I said, me personally, I don't reborn. I don't make them at all. Never have. I'm gonna try to attempt one to make one, but I don't make them. But since I do collect, and I think when you try to sell a reborn itself, like if you're trying to sell one, because I've sold a couple. I think the hardest part is um how to sell your reborn, because it's easy to just pretty much describe what it is, and knowing the kits, because I don't know the kit of what I have. So a lot of the times that's the hard part. Like people want to know, oh, what kit is it? And that's, I don't know. The most hard part is when you're asking for a certain price, you're asking, say, 200, for example, and people are like, oh, well, can you pay this, or that, this and that, and being able to trust the person who you're selling to. You know, being able to trust the person that you're selling, that's like the hardest part, because you don't know these people, and you're basically like giving them something, and that same way, same with them, they're giving you their money and trusting you that you'll send it. But sometimes, just because they give you money doesn't mean that they can always back out of it, or then they end up finding a claim on you or something, and then you owe back money. So it's like a trust. The hardest thing about trusting, but you have to somewhat trust, but it's like hard. So yeah, that's, I think, the hardest, is trusting somebody with it. But you learn who and who not to. So yeah, what was my first what kit was my first ever reborn? Like I said, my first actual reborn was a Page kit. Um, she was my first actual reborn that I had, that my husband paid for. But like I said, I had the first one I ever got was an Ashton Drake doll. It was a Savannah kit, Savannah from Ashton Drake. But yeah, that was my first. What was your motivation? Next question was, what was your motivation to getting your first reborn, and how did you feel when you received him or her? Well, my motivation was because, like, since I can't have kids, my husband's young, I can't have any kids, and I already have kids of my own, but we couldn't have another kid. So like that was my motivation, like to have the feeling of a baby without going through all the problems and everything like that. And you could do everything you want. And my husband on that part was really supportive on that part. Like, when I started finding out about it, and he's like, okay, we'll get it, we'll do it. And he helped me pay for her. And I think that was it. The fact that my husband was willing to participate in it as well. Not just me getting into it. Like, he was willing to put part into this. So I think that was the motivation, that he was into doing it with me as well. So, and how did I feel when I received it? I was excited. Like, I was like super excited. And um I had a video that I did a while back, but it's not on this one here. So, but yeah, I was super excited. Like, I didn't know how to express it, but scream like, you know. But yeah, so it's really exciting when you first receive your reborn. Um, Another question was, when I take my babies out, do I get a lot of positive feedback, or negative? And so, how do I handle it? Um, Most of the time, I get a lot of positive feedback. Most of the time, it's like people can't believe how real they look. Um, a lot of people have asked, he's if they could hold them, and they hold them. And a lot of people ask, like, well, why do I carry it, and what's the purpose, so I let them know. And there's times where I get some negative feedback from people, like, oh, aren't you too old for having dolls? Aren't you too old to be playing with dolls? And I just ignore them, for a while. And they're still talking, oh, well, you shouldn't be playing with dolls, you're too old, and this and that. And finally, after they start talking all their mess, there was one lady who wanted to hold the baby, like, after she was talking, oh, why do you hold these? It's ridiculous. When she finds out how much they are, oh, that's nonsense. But when she holds it, and she's like, oh my god, I want one. You know, it's like it changes people's perspectives because they're quick to judge until they have it, until they hold it, and then understand it. Um, One of the questions kind of thing it says, "How do I pick my baby's names?" Well, most of my babies pretty much have native names for the most part. Um, or most of the times my husband will pick a name. It's just basically how we feel at the moment, or or I'll ask, hey, what do we think we should name this person or name this one? Do I role? Yeah, so that's how. Another question was, do I role play with my babies? I do to a certain point. Um, for example, like I'll pretend like I'm feeding them, and changing them, and I'll talk to them, and but like I don't really know how to role play with them. Really, I'm not really like interested. Like that's why like I watch a lot of videos, to kind of do it. I'm kind of getting the concept of it, but yeah, I'm learning to role play with them. Um, what is, what do you ask when getting a custom? Well, I got in two custom made. No, one, two, one, two. Hold up. One, two, three. I got in four customs made. Two toddler. No, well, no. Let me rephrase that. Three customs because one of them was like a Semite because I didn't know what it was. Um, basically you have to know the person's work. Know how they are. Like ask them like what can they do, how always always ask for work in progress work, like how is it coming along, because at any point you're not happy with the way it looks or something, you could be like, oh, well, can you change this, or can you add this instead of that, because you're paying the money for it, so like it's best what it looks like. For example, if you want a certain skin tone and you see the thing and they show it to you and it's not what you like, can you add it a little bit more darker or this or that, or a little, ask questions. Always ask for how it's coming along. Make sure they send you pictures of how it's looking, and um how much is it, how much would it be, to add extra stuff to it, because some add extra stuff or some. So but mainly is progress of your reborn, how it's coming and stuff. uh okay, someone asked the same kind of question but in a different thing. They said, when I take my babies out, do I sometimes don't tell people they're reborn, he or she is a reborn? um Sometimes, sometimes I do, because sometimes people, like, I'm on the bus and people just are so like up in your business sometimes, and I would have them covered up or something, and I'll just kind of like, hold on to them because I'm in a wheelchair. So I'll just hold on to them like, oh, how old is your baby? And depending on which one I have that day, if I have one of my one of the baby ones, I'm like, oh, he's such and such months. Or if I have the toddler, like, oh, he's only 1 or 2. So yeah, sometimes I do, because I don't want to hear people's bullshit. Sorry, my language, but I don't want to hear people's drama sometimes. I just want to get to where I gotta go and pretty much come back. But I like taking them with me because like I go alone sometimes, so I like taking them with me. So yeah, sometimes I do, and sometimes I would be like, you know what? No, he's a doll. And they're like, oh my god, he is, and he looks so real. Oh my god! And I love seeing people's reactions when I tell him he's not real. But like I said, I kind of feel people when I know, okay, you know what, they're not gonna be like, oh, like, about it. So like if I know the person's like okay, like, kind of friendly looking, or the way they talk, they're kind of friendly, and then I'll just say, oh, he's not real, he's a doll, and they're like, oh my god, girl, you had me, you fooled me, girl. So yeah, like, it depends on where the situation. So yeah. Well, that's all the questions I have. So that I was given, but like I said, these are questions that I was asked, and I'm answering them for me as my part. You guys, everybody else might have a different thing, but yeah. So goodbye.